The second most important issue in this country for Americans, immigration. I could not believe it when I saw this story. Martha Raddatz on ABC saying only a handful of apartment complexes were taken over by Venezuelan gangs. Stop making such a big deal out of this. Amazing. JD Vance with the most perfect response. Are you hearing yourself? Only a handful of American apartment complexes were taken over by Venezuelan gangs? That is an invasion. That is a foreign enemy. I mean, it's look, American property was seized by a foreign invasive armed group. Only a handful, though. You know what? Look, please keep downplaying it. Please. Because I talk to people. I was at this rally the other day. I talk to people. I go outside and they say we are concerned about illegal immigration. We are concerned about the violence. We are concerned about crime. And, you know, crime may not be the number one issue, but you combine it with the illegal immigration crisis and you're going to have people deeply invested in this. So I give my shout outs to Martha Raddatz for really, really hurting the Kamala Harris campaign. Now, you may be saying, but Tim, that's not fair. She's not a Democrat. She's not in the Kamala Harris campaign. What's the difference? Honest question. What's the difference? You think anybody's going to... The corporate press is the Democrat media industrial complex, and we all know it. Let's play this clip. This is one for the books.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be.
This is one for the books. Only she's mad. And this goes on. There's more. I don't know if they have the full tweet, the full video, but she then says, well, you know, they said they've taken care of it. JD Vance, this poor guy, here he is. He's from Appalachia, you know, and he's thinking to himself, I can't believe a single apartment complex was taken over by Venezuelan gangs. And the nerve of these people in the corporate press to tell you, so what? It's that cycle we hear about all the time. It's the meme cycle. At first, it's not happening. Yo, they denied this. They said there was no takeover. Remember that? I wonder if I can Google this. There are no Venezuelan gangs taking over. I bet. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. From NPR. Aurora police chief says there's no evidence that Venezuelan gang took over apartment. And that was just one. So the other day, I'm at this event in Newtown, and I was talking to a bunch of people. It was really, really great. Jack had a great speech. There were many other people who came to speak. And I was there explaining why I am now supporting Trump and why, and it's about me. I can't speak for everybody else. Many of these people may have been conservatives for a long time. And I tell you, you know, there's people who live in this fake reality. They believe nonsense and lies. There are two coalitions. There's RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Trump, Vivek, JD Vance. Then there's Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, Dick Cheney, and Liz Cheney, and Kinzinger, and the Lincoln Project, and whatever else. It's remarkable, isn't it? In September, NPR ran this story. Video of gang members in Aurora, Colorado apartment building had right-wing media declaring the city's takeover by Venezuelan gangs. Police say it's hyperbole. They say there's no evidence that Venezuelan gang took over apartment. Let me play the clip for you one more time.
Problems.
Oh, sorry.
Do you hear yourself?
Full of apartment complex. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Listen to this. It goes beyond what JD Vance says.
Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America.
I'm sorry. I cannot be nice like JD Vance. If I was sitting at this interview, I would say, Martha, how dare you? How dare you say that to my face when NPR, when other corporate press outlets were reporting that it never happened, when we had American citizens suffering because Venezuelan gang members were breaking down their doors in a handful of apartment complexes. Sure. But when this happened, it was your outlet, it was these corporate press outlets that lied and said it never happened. And now you stand before me and say, oh, but it was only a handful. Maybe you can do the work and do the research, do your job for once, because the American people are terrified and they're angry and they're witnessing this. And so how dare you come to me now, a month later, when the media was saying it never happened, and it has been happening for over a year, and tell me, so what? It's but a handful. Because that's the meme cycle, right? First, it's not happening. Then, if it is, it's not that big a deal. So what if it's happening? And sooner or later, it's actually a good thing. I can't wait till they try and make the claim on this one. It's actually a good thing that Venezuelan gangs are taking over. Yeah? Spin that one. You know what? I should probably look this up and see if ABC News, no Venezuelan gangs. See if we can pull that up from ABC. Let's do this. I'm going to go to the news section, tools, and we're going to go to archives. Let's see. ABC News. Aurora mayor pushes back against Trump. That's from a while ago. Colorado. Let's see. We want only ABC. Let's do site abcnews.com. It doesn't let me do it, does it? Let me see if what do they do? ABC. See, that's the trick. ABC News. It's site abcnews.go.com. Oh, that's weird how they do that. Let's see what we can find here in the old archives. I got all of it pulled up. We want to go back a month. Let me just let me throw it up there for you guys as I'm doing this search. We got ABC News. We're using that as the let's just do no Venezuelan gang takeover, and we're gonna have to do a custom search. We're going to have to do a custom range, and we want to see this from 9/1/24, and let's go 10/1/24 and see if we can pull up anything. Let's see. Fact-checking J.D. Vance's claims about Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio. That one's really, really funny. Ooh, what's this? Springfield. Okay, well, we don't want Springfield. We want Aurora. So let's do Aurora. I'll only push them a little bit. Okay, we're not going to try and... they talk about the conspiracy theories over migrants and all of that stuff. But I think I've made my point. I don't want to prattle on too long about that. I made my point. The corporate press... So I'll make sure I clarify because I said your outlet. No. I mean the corporate press when I was referring to. I have to go and dig to see what ABC News reported. But I'm willing to bet ABC News reported that there was no violent crime migrant takeover. We are sitting here in a news cycle in this country where the corporate press is telling us none of it's happening. And we know for a fact that it is happening. And we know that people are suffering because of it. And they had the nerve to tell us it wasn't happening. Now they have the nerve to say it's only a handful. What's the big deal? J.D. Vance comes out and says, are you hearing yourself? Because Venezuelan gangs are taking over, and it's shocking. But I think there's an extra layer to this that we need to bring up, and that is that they lied about it in the first place. They knew it was happening. In fact, I think it was Anna Kasparian who pointed this out, that a year ago, they had written about these gang takeovers. When conservatives brought it up, they came out and said it wasn't happening. Donald Trump reads the news. This is what he does. He reads the news, and he'll come out and he'll be like, did you see this thing about the migrants? It's very interesting. Then the media, they run a report. Migrant drowns in river. Then Donald Trump will be like, you see this? The migrant drowned in the river. And then the next day, the media comes out and says, Trump lied, migrant didn't drown in the river. This is the cycle of the press and how they deal with this stuff. CBS News, as Trump puts Aurora, Colorado in spotlight, mayor calls Venezuelan gang claims grossly exaggerated. They are now admitting, this is just the other day, this report from the New York Post is from today, that a handful of apartment complexes were taken over by Venezuelan gangs. CBS News is running the story saying the mayor says it's grossly exaggerated only 3 days ago. Mayor Mike Coffin made the statement Tuesday after weeks of misleading claims by the former president that the city was a war zone overrun with members of Venezuelan gang. It's an opinion statement. I can't stand these people. Coffin said concerns about gang activity have been grossly exaggerated. Incidents were limited to several apartment complexes in the city of more than 400,000 residents. Can you believe this? A foreign gang has taken over American territory and is terrorizing Americans. And he's like, yeah, blowing this out of proportion. If one Venezuelan gang member came to the United States and punched one person in the face, I'd say, whoa, we got ourselves a problem here. We shouldn't let that happen, right? This is the game they play. It's only a little bit, so it's okay. That's the argument. I mean, look, I don't want to ignite an abortion thing here, but that's the argument they make about late-term abortion. They say, oh, it's rare. I'm like, what? That's not a good thing. It shouldn't happen at all. This is where we're at. Aurora Police Department Chief Todd Chamberlain said in September 20 press conference, the city is not by any means overtaken by Venezuelan gangs. It's an opinion statement. It's just hyperbole, whatever. Okay? I'm fine with coming out and saying, you know, Trump's exaggerating, but it's an opinion statement. To say the city's feuding with Venezuelan gangs is a fact statement. To say that it's overrun is, well, it's a question of what you mean by overrun, but it's an opinion statement. They can argue we've got more than enough police to deal with this. The question is, why has it been going on over a year? In that case, I'd argue that Trump's actually more correct than they are. I do want to stress it's an opinion statement. Overrun, maybe it's intentional. Maybe the city is letting these violent migrants do these things, these gang members. But I think if this problem's been going on for over a year and you know it, yeah, well, then you're full of it. Can't say I'm surprised, my friends. This is what you get in our modern era. I hope Trump wins for more reasons than just this. But we're in that home stretch, so it's going to require all of you guys doing everything you need to do, registering voters, to make it possible. To make it possible for a Trump victory. No one knows what's going to happen. We've got a Gallup poll showing that Trump is ahead nationally. It's big news. The betting markets are favoring Donald Trump. Kamala and Biden are feuding, which is another segment we have coming up for you in a little bit. And there's a real possibility Trump wins this one. There's also a real possibility of a shadow campaign. So that means y'all are going to have to do the work. Otherwise, these stories, you know where we're going to be in a year? The media is going to say, oh, that's old news. Who cares about that story anymore? They're going to say, hey, more apartments are being taken over by violent gangs. So they're going to say, so what? So what? Old news. Because we desensitized to it. The fact that we have migrant camps in Chicago, the fact that we have migrant gangs anywhere in this country, and we have for some time, the fact that we have tent cities, the fact that in Chicago, the black community is saying we are being replaced. All of these represent an escalating problem. But where were we 4 years ago? 4 years ago, we said we have a border crisis. And it's Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's fault. Several years later, the problem has gotten substantially worse. If you sit this one out or think you abstain, well, then these problems will get worse. I heard a lot of people. They said, you know, I've heard people say, I'm going to sit this one out. I can't support Donald Trump. You know, when I started thinking about this, and maybe I should probably save this for another second, but I'm going to say it now. I feel like I approach the presidency like a standard investment, sound investment, and I feel like everybody else is playing roulette. Here's how I see it. I vote for Donald Trump. He's not perfect, but I'm looking at a 3 to 4% return on my investment by next year. Hopefully, in the next 4 years, it compounds, and I see a decent return. It's not going to be a big win. I'm not going to throw $1,000 down, win $1,000. Nah, I'm going to put $1,000 down and maybe I make $30. That's it. But that's how you invest. Now, these other people saying, I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump because he's not perfect. They're playing roulette. They're saying, put it all on red, baby. Put it all on black. They want a 100% return on their money like that. Okay. So they're saying, I'm not going to support Donald Trump because he's bad on this, that, or otherwise, because of warp speed, because of 2 weeks slow the spread, because of Israel. And I'm like, my dudes, you're playing a zero-sum game. You will lose. You vote for Trump, you know you are going to see net positives in some areas. So there's the Israel people who are just like, yeah, but Trump's support for Israel, I'll never back him. Okay, well, Kamala does too. You're losing on both of these. Make your vote like you're doing a sound investment. Who's going to give you a marginal return on your investment? It ain't going to be Kamala Harris. I mean, let's be real. Donald Trump's going to give you an actual, tangible, literal return on investment. The economy will improve. We know it. Take what you can get now to make inroads and make those gains. And don't sacrifice an opportunity because you're headstrong on one key issue that you're upset about. Now, don't get me wrong. If your worldview is literally only Israel, then, you know, fine, so be it. Do what you got to do. Vote for who you want. Don't tell me what you live your life. We're free people, right? I'm just saying, if you're a person who says, yeah, Trump will improve the economy, yeah, Trump will improve the border, yeah, Trump is better on foreign policy, but Trump supports Israel. Okay, well, take the gains you can, because Kamala Harris is going to do so much worse. I think that's the equation we have before us. If you care about anything at all, it's that someone is going to speak out that violent gangs are taking over property in this country to any degree. And the corporate press, so frantic and evil, desperate to defend this idea. Mind-blowing to me. I'm going to wrap it up there. We got a lot more segments for you tonight. More to come. We'll be cranking them out for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Smash the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Share the show with everyone you know. Follow me on X and become a member at timcast.com. Thank you once again. We will see you all at 4 p.m. on this channel. See you then.